Are you ready to wake up? You are now entering Dreamland. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Now Entering Dreamland, a podcast about dreams, sleep, and everything in between. Welcome back to those of you who have been to Dreamland before. We are happy to have you back. And welcome to all of you joining us here in Dreamland for the first time. It is a very special day. First and foremost, it's time for a new episode. But most importantly, this is going to be a two-parter episode since we are covering a lot of material. And this is actually the first two-parter episode that I've ever done on this show. As long as you don't count the very first episode that I released. But that was a little different because I released two episodes at the same time. This is the same topic covered over two episodes. So I'm excited about that. At the start of season 2 of this podcast, I talked about how I believe that my dreams, more specifically my nightmares, were causing me to sleepwalk. I have a big update about these dreams and nightmares. And because of this big update, I have been thinking a lot about what causes nightmares. I've mentioned this in previous episodes on this podcast and in my dream diary that I keep on nowenteringdreamland.com, but scientists and doctors are not sure of the exact reason or reasons people dream. But I went one step further, and that is, what physically causes the types of dreams we have? Is this in any way dictated by the environment we sleep in or the type of sleeping position we favor? So that was my question. I did some research, and the wonderful people at Psychology Today had a really interesting article on this subject. I'm going to link the article below, but there's one passage of the article from Psychology Today I really like, and I am going to recite that right now. So in one passage it says, "And what about dreams? Research suggests a correlation between sleep position and dream type. If you sleep on your side and experience disturbing dreams, you might want to consider switching sides. Right side sleepers may experience fewer nightmares than left side sleepers. Back sleepers also may be more likely to have nightmares, and research indicates they may also have a harder time recalling their dreams. Stomach sleepers, according to studies, experience dreams that are more vivid, intense, and sexual. They're also more likely to have dreams in which they're immobilized and restrained. I try to sleep on my right side, and I have mentioned before that I think that side is lucky, and that's why I always try to sleep on my right side, but I often move around during my sleep, and almost every day I wake up on my back. Could this be the reason I have nightmares? Yes, apparently. Apparently, yes, that is one of the reasons I have these nightmares. And this subject is a really great segue to an update on my particular nightmares and my sleepwalking and the correlation between the two. As I often say on this podcast, I am not a doctor or a medical professional or a scientist. This is just what I noticed about my sleep and dreams, and this is what I am reporting to you. So, right at the top, am I still sleepwalking more than normal and more than usual? Yes. And that's a really important thing because when I was younger, when I was in high school, I was sleepwalking several times a week when I was 15, 16. And that started to decrease as I got older, to the point where I was only sleepwalking about once a month. But it really has picked up. Like, it's nowhere near the same amount as when I was in high school, but I am sleepwalking about once a week, which is more than usual. Question 2, do I think my dreams are causing this? Yes. So my dream has morphed from the one I reported in the earlier episode, the start of season 2. My dream now takes place in a theater. And this is interesting to me because I used to spend a lot of time in theaters as a child and young adult. I really enjoyed plays and musical theater, and when I was younger, I went to theater camp. And then when I was in middle school and high school, I auditioned for plays with school, and I performed a lot of theater, and I was in the musicals and the fall plays. And then that continued into college when I began doing improv and stand-up, and then I was also still doing musical theater. And I say all this basically to say that I've spent a lot of time, just a lot of my life, just so many hours, days, weeks, the breakdown of time in a theater. And it's weird because theaters are what I think of as my happy place, and I really hate that phrase, but I feel very comfortable in theaters. But this is where my dream becomes very weird. Because in my dream, it seems like everyone in this particular theater is upset. So the actors are all backstage, and they're nervous and very upset and angry, and the techies are very angry at the actors, and the stagehands are mad at the director, and the audience seem mad at everyone. And audience members are actively leaving the theater in the dream. I kind of enter the dream in media res, and audience members are leaving. So the weird thing is I'm unsure of my role in this particular theatrical production, but I'm in the back of the theater, and this is different than any theater I've ever performed in because this is an actual theater with a lot of seats, like hundreds of seats and red velvet curtains and really nice chairs, and there's a balcony and an orchestra. So after I see the audience leaving, I myself decide to leave. So in the dream, I leave and I'm in a downtown area. This is not a downtown area I know from real life, but I do know this area from my dream logic. And I know this because I've dreamed about this downtown area before. And it's usually a site of some of my more scary dreams. Usually I'm in this downtown area very late at night. Something bad is happening. It's always a presence that I don't know, but I feel a presence that's very evil and omnipresent and very thick. So I'm in this downtown area. I know where I'm going. And I walk to a bar. And this is not a bar I know in real life, but the bar itself kind of looks like a bar I used to go to with my friends in DC in the before COVID times. But inside, once I get into the bar, it resembles the bar in DC, but there are some aspects of it that are very different. And the last time I had this dream, I went into the bar, and then I became upset because my normal, and I'm putting this in air quotes, normal bartender wasn't there. It was another person. And I went up to this bartender and I ordered, and then the bartender, who was like a substitute bartender, responded that they couldn't make me a gin and tonic because they didn't know how. And then in the dream, I got very upset. And that's the last part of the dream that I remember. And through all of that, I woke up in my living room near my couch. So I was no longer in bed. So my running theory is that maybe when I physically walked to the bar in the dream, I walked into my living room in real life. But there's one thing that really stays with me about all of this, and it's not about this dream or the dream that I had last time. It's the fact that all of these dreams that I'm having and all of these nightmares are getting so vivid. They're just becoming very clear. And I think maybe the reason that I'm sleepwalking is because the dreams are so vivid. And if that's the case, can my dreams cause other sleep states or sleep issues? Well, that's a loaded question because I have an answer very particular to me. And the answer is yes, because a dream I had caused me to have sleep paralysis. I was literally trapped in a dream about a haunted house and a science fair. And I'm going to leave you on a cliffhanger, the first cliffhanger ever in the history of this podcast, because I am going to tell you about this dream in the next episode. That's it for this episode of Now Entering Dreamland. You can find all episodes and my dream journal and additional information on the website nowenteringdreamland.com. New episodes are released on Sundays, and you can get the latest episodes in your email inbox by hitting the subscribe button. You're now leaving Dreamland, but we'll see you next time.